start with the first one, which is fundamental analysis for beginners and experts, which is basically the overall topic. Everything that I've mentioned falls under understanding fundamental analysis, right? We are firstly going to start with what is fundamental, and let me tell you something with trading. Fundamental. Yeah. I hope the spelling is correct. So let me rather say what is fundamentals. Yeah. What is fundamentals? So understanding overall what is fundamentals, basically, as I've stated earlier, that there is nothing technical that moves the market. So in short, I'm going to make it as simple as possible without having to Google anything. Fundamental is the future of trading. That's it. If you don't know fundamentals, you don't know your future. Fundamentals is everything that you're doing daily, literally. When you're getting a job today, it's part of fundamentals. When you're getting fired from your job today, it's part of your fundamentals, right? NFP, manufacturing PMIs, all those things, it's real things which are happening. NFP, it's non-farms payroll. It's a job report in a certain sector of America, which is USD. So when people get hired, it affects the report. When people get fired, it affects the report. So it's within our daily lives. When you are buying goods from, what is this online website? Shein. It's Shein, or what they call it, whatever, I don't know. You're buying goods from a country, from a company that is abroad. And when you're buying the product, it comes in South Africa as an import, right? The product that you've purchased, it comes in as an import. That also forms part of an overall performance of the GDP, which is the gross domestic product, the entire economy. It's not specifically one product at a time, So everything that you do which involves the flow of money is fundamental, in short. And we as traders are trading that in short, in a nutshell, right? So there is what we call an economic calendar. An economic calendar, I will be opening an example right now of an economic calendar. So we make use of, let me just do this. Okay, yeah. So let me just do this. Screen. Okay. I want to open the calendar. Let me share the screen for the calendar. Are you able to see the screen? I hope you're able to see the screen for the calendar. Yeah, perfect. So, yeah, so this is what we call an economic calendar. So you find this normally on investing.com. That's the one that we use. So if you have a look at the economic calendar, from Wednesday, the 17th of May, you can see there are things happening. You look at the times, JPY 150. There's always something that happens. Always something that happens, right? So this is the economic calendar that we are referring to. Basically, you can see what's going to happen tomorrow. You can see what's going to happen this week. You can see what's going to happen next week. I'll also show you another calendar which can show you what's going to happen for the entire year, basically. right? It's gonna show you what's gonna happen for the entire year as well, you know. So yeah, that's what we are going to be discussing. Now each calendar, basically, actually, there's one economic calendar, but each currency pair has what we call an event. An event is something that is happening, a functionality, if I may put it in that manner. It's something that will be happening in that specific country that's going to affect that specific currency. I'm going to give an example. Right now, today at 0150. Today at 0150 will be, let me just share the screen again. Today at 0150, the event that I've marked will be having a GDP capital expenditure Q1 under JPY. So this is an event which affects any pair that has JPY. I'm speaking about GBP JPY, GBP JPY, GBP JPY. I've started with it. USD JPY, Euro JPY if it exists, NZD JPY, any pair that has JPY, because JPY is never a base currency but rather a code. Any pair which has JPY, it's definitely going to be affected by this particular event, right? So an event is a report that comes out which affects that specific currency. That's what you need to know in simple terms. An event is basically that particular report. We call it an event. And now when we break it down and understand what is it that we are trading, then we call it an actual report, right? Now, what does a report consist of, right? A report consists of three things. Each and every report consists of three things. Number one, previous. Number two, forecast. Number three, actually it's four things, sorry. It's previous, number one. Number two, forecast. Number three, actual. Number four, importance, right? It's very important for you to understand all these experts, because they are going to help you understand what is it that you're trading much better, right? So previous, it's what happened the previous month. Literally, it's in the past. So most beginners get confused when you open an event like this. You see, I've opened an event, Japan Gross Domestic Product, Capital Expenditure Report, which is Q1. Most beginners get confused when they see the actual like this, what I've marked on my screen. Remember, you can zoom in, zoom out the same way you're doing so on pictures if you're unable to see what I've marked. So most beginners get to see this percentage, this number right here, and get to think that it's the actual number that is happening in real time. These guys can never show you an event that haven't came out. You can never see the outcome of this event before 0150 as it states on the economic calendar, right? So previous is what happened the previous month or the previous time the event occurred. Forecast is a prediction. The economists predict that the outcome should come out as this, right? When the event starts, right? Now, importance is denoted by 3 bars. There's 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bars. On investing.com app, it's bars, but on the website, it's stars. So when you see 1 star like this, it denotes the importance of the event. When it's 1 star, it means it's not important. When it's 2 stars or 2 bulls, it means it's medium, in between. And then when it's 3 bars or 3 bulls, it means that it's high priority, meaning that it's the most important event out of them all, right? That's literally what it means. Now, I hope now you understand. So what it means is when you have the previous, the forecast, and you're waiting for the actual. Let me open the report for this event, for example. Let us go to the history. Now, let us go back to the 14th of February, which was Valentine's Day, right? I'm trying to mark that specific day, but it marks everything. So let me just mark this portion. Shit. Let me, yeah. So 14 February, we had our previous as 1.5, which was for December. The economists predicted that it's going to be as negative 0.5%. And March, the previous was 1.5. And the economists, are you guys able to hear me? Yeah, but as long as you are able to hear me properly, I can see the confirmation on the comment box that you are able to hear me properly. So I think I should be able to proceed. I don't even remember where I was, but I was speaking about the event which is going to be happening on JPY. So let me just share my screen back. How do I okay, yeah. So confirm if you're able to see what's happening on my screen. Confirm on the chat box if you're able to see what's happening on my screen so I can proceed. I apologize for the network issue. All right, perfect. Thank you. So as we're proceeding, March the 9th, previous 1.5 forecast negative 0.4. The outcome came out as negative 0.5%. And 0.5%, and the actual is going to be coming out. Now, what does the color green and red denote? Right? Guys, my internet is bad. I have a. Are you able to hear me now? Okay, yeah, I think it's back now. I apologize for that. It's ESCOM, guys. So yeah, the forecast. Now, what does the color red and green denote? Guys, yo, no, I can see my internet is a bit bad. Yeah, I'm on load shedding. That is why I'm on load shedding, and yeah. Okay, yeah, now you can hear me. I apologize again. So yeah, so the color green denotes buy. Now, if the event comes out as green at 0150 today, it means that any pair that involves JPY is gonna be a buy. But also understand that before you conclude that it's gonna be a buy, it's a buy specifically for JPY, meaning that in cases where JPY is a code currency and not a base currency, it means the opposite is going to happen. Now, because now on USD JPY, USD is a base currency, JPY is a code currency, and JPY outcome is a buy, meaning that JPY is supposed to go up. Now, instead, it's gonna do the opposite because it's a code currency. I don't know if I'm making sense. But where else JPY was, maybe if the pair was JPY USD, then it was gonna be a straight buy. But because it's the other side, the other way around, then the opposite will happen. So that's what it means. Green simply means that it's a buy for JPY. Now, red means it's a sell for JPY. Now, black, an example of black would be what I've marked now. Black simply means that there are no changes. The actual relies more on cons or forecast. For cons and forecast is like prediction. The economists are predicting. So now the biggest question is, how do you now know when to trade these things? You never really know whether it's a buy or sell before the report comes out. But as a fundamentalist, I can also do that technically, meaning in the long term. I know that in the long term, because of this specific report, because of this specific event, I know that I'm going to buy or sell JPY because based on the outcome of the report, long term. Now, remember now, the nice thing about fundamentals is it reacts for a minute, but in the long run, it's also going to go in the favor of the event. But also, that's not going to happen to all the events. Depends on the nature of the event as well, right? It's not going to happen on all the events all the time. I hope you now understand what an event is and basically the notions in terms of red, black, colors and whatnot, right? Now we are going to be moving to the types of reports, right? I'm trying to push as much as I can so that this session lasts us at least 40 minutes to an hour. So types of reports. So we have different types of reports. We have case events. Let me look for a K event on the list. Trying to scroll down to see if I can find a K event, just so that I can make an example, a proper example. Let me just select this week. Actually, I think if I select this week, I should be able to find a K event. Yes, I found a K event. Let me just denote it. I'm gonna mark it. Yeah, so what I've highlighted, I hope you're able to see it, is a K event, right? The GBP employment change, right? Now, how do you know that this is a K event? It's because it ends with K at the end, number one. Number two, what does the K denotes? What does the K stand for? What does the K see? 169,000. I mean, when we're 169K, it simply means 169,000. When you see 160K, it means 160,000. 182K, it means 182,000. That's a case event. I'll also denote the difference between the events, which ones are more powerful, so that you can know which ones to focus on when we speaking about the type of event, right? From there, what we also have what we call percentages event. Without going further, I'm just gonna find one is what it's a pair. So percentages event, how do you know them? They have the percentages symbol at the end: 5.1%, 5.5%, 4.7%. That's a percentage event. It's as clean as that, right? And then also we have also the app just notified me that my network is a bit unstable. I apologize. So M's events are denoted by M, as I've marked the South African event. So now remember what I said. We are basically living and eating, doing fundamentals wherever and everywhere. An example would be the South African unemployment report. It basically takes out the number of people who are unemployed in the country. I'm just not sure in which sector, but yeah. So as I stated that the M at the end on this event, I'm not sure if it means millions or morons. Find that the M stands for morons because clearly we are morons. I mean, how on earth did we get to be like Zimbabwe? You know, not in a bad way, but how on earth are we able to get to the stage where we don't have electricity for an entire 12 hours a day and not say anything about it? You know, it means that the M on this event type that we are going to be dealing with, it's standard events. Standard events, normally you'll find them under GBP. Let me look for something which has GBP. Normally you find them under GBP. Let me look for something. I don't know what these events denote. I'm not finding any. Oh yeah, a standard event is something like this. What I've marked under GBP, which is GFK, consumer confidence. So how do you know that this is a standard event? It is not denoted by anything at the end. It is not denoted by anything at the end. That's how you know that this is a standard event. Now, I've mentioned a few types of events, right? And the network.